Good morning or good evening, maybe to Professor Madya, Dr. Hafizul Fadri bin Hanafi, and all my fellow friends. Today I'm going to present to you about a summarization of all the mini assignments in assignment 1. This is a course named Ethics and Professionalism issue. Without further ado, let's get into it. For topic number one, it's about computer crime and security. I'm going to explain to you about the meaning or the definition of cyber theft. Cyber theft is an act of a criminal using the internet to get the victim's financial or personal information with the intention of using it for illegal activities. Anyone or any corporation could become a victim of a cyber theft. The attempt to obtain priceless intellectual property is another example of cyber theft, such as a firm may attempt to take control of a competitor plans, or the government may attempt to steal the secret of another party. Let's move on to topic number 2. Topic number 2 is about intellectual property. The question it's given is that assume the role as the individual software developer, or you are the owner of a software company. Your company have already created a software that changes people's lifestyle and provides benefits to the society as a whole. Knowing that the importance of this software to the Malaysian, you decided to register your intellectual property, or known as IP, to the software. Describe the process and step involved in getting the right IP application for your software by following the suggested step below. From the question given, I assume that the role as the individual software developer, there are few things that actually that needs to do as an individual software developer. If you want your own brand to be used in Malaysia, you actually can try to register your brand new brand, or your company, your what I mean by your company is your brand new company, especially the name, whether it is an individual, share, or company, or just an organization. There are two steps. For the first step, you need to prepare a few documents to register your company brand as a software company. The documents that you need to prepare is that company logos, identity and card copy, mailing address, email address, and your company product summary. For the second step, the registration process for the My IP or trademark. There are two levels of this registration. For level 1, you have to find and choose a logo and a brand you want to register. This is because it needs to prevent any same or copyright with any company logo or brand that has already existed or registered. In this way, we can prevent the registration from getting rejected. And for the level 2, you have to make a registration by submitting your registration form at My IPO. The registration process and getting a copy of registration validation will take around 1 to 2 days of working hour. The approval and the certificate will released by the My IPO after 8 to 12 months. The approval process can also be shortened to 4 until 6 months, but you have to pay extra money if you wanted this process to be done. Now we are on the third topic. The third topic talks about privacy and surveillance. What actually is an surveillance? Surveillance is the monitoring of an individual or observing things in order to obtain information. Surveillance is utilized for a variety of purposes, and objectives. Depending on who is using surveillance techniques, the meaning of surveillance can change, such as protecting private property, learning more about a certain goal, or gathering evidence against a person or group are all possible uses for surveillance. The most common uses of surveillance are in the military and in the law enforcement. Surveillance is used especially by the government and the law enforcement organization to identify, stop, and look into a criminal activity. Therefore, what are the types of surveillance? There are six types of surveillance. First one is database surveillance. The second one is the internet surveillance. The third one is called the video surveillance. And the fourth one is called satellite surveillance. And the fifth one is called the mobile surveillance. And the last one is called the ID card surveillance. And what actually are the examples of surveillance? The example of surveillance can be divided into vehicles, GPS tracker, binoculars, audio recorder, camera, or even computer. So, can you actually monitor your employee computer activity? Yes, if I was an employer, I can monitor my employees' computer activity by using a software that called Revoke Employee Monitor. This method is called as keylogger. Keylogger records every keystroke made on the employee's computer. This method can help the employer to monitor the data of the emails, or you can say the content of the emails, the content of the documents, and other information that's stored inside the employee's computer. Moving to the next question, does the government spy on its citizens? Actually, it is. The government always has been spying on the citizen for some period of time. For instance, government has been collecting data from its citizens. This method has been called as mass data collection through a program called PRISM or PRISM. This method has been used to collect data from citizen emails, chat messages, browsing history, and other personal information. But how is a surveillance an ethical issue? Surveillance is an ethical issue because it violates the privacy rights of the victims. This is said so, and this is said so it is because it collects data such as personal information without the consent or permission of the victim. Moreover, collected data can be vulnerable to breach and misuse. If the collected data is not completely protected, this can actually lead the information fall into the wrong hand, which can lead to identity theft or even blackmailing. And what actually the step that can be taken by the citizen or by an individual to block or prevent from public or government surveillance? Firstly, the step that can be taken to block or prevent from public or government surveillance is by knowing the law. By understanding the law, you are able to know what is legal and what is not. When being surveillanced by a third party, this will allow you to know what kind of basic law or basic needs you have to start from if you even needed it. Besides, you can always use a virtual private network, or we call it as a VPN, to block, prevent from the public or government surveillance. VPN can protect your browser from those who want to steal your information. This also can lower the chances or the risk of your information being misused. And finally, you can encrypt your data to block or prevent from public government surveillance. However, I do not recommend that this method because this method can be break down by the government easily. But actually this will take some time before they can use it and review your personal information. But if you are just a normal person, probably they won't even take a notice about it. Now, let's move on to topic number 4. Topic number 4 talks about computer reliability. Why reliability in computer system is important? Because the function to which a computer system carries out the necessary task for which it was built and does so without error is known as its reliability. This is critical because an unreliable system can prevent it from performing as intended or as you wanted. The system failures have the potential to do enormous harm to our computer or our mobile phone. So the example of a case study is that the 1992 London Ambulance Service Computer Aided Dispatch LASCAD system breakdown is a great example of computer unreliability. The goal of the system was to use the radio signal and geographic information system to automate the dispatch of ambulance. However, because the post-project management, insufficient testing, and the lack of capacity to handle heavy loads, it fell miserably. Emergency reaction times was severely delayed as a result, and it was estimated that 20 to 30 individuals may have died as a result of these delays. So, what opinion that I have on the mobile phone reliability between the era of Nokia or BlackBerry versus the current time that uses Android or Apple mobile phone? Based on my opinion, the mobile phone reliability between the era of Nokia or BlackBerry versus the current time that uses Android or Apple mobile phone is that the era of Nokia or BlackBerry is excellent at durability and security measurement. This is because the mobile phone such as Nokia 3310 was famous or was known because of its robustness and a long battery health. Moreover, mobile phones such as BlackBerry was also famous or known for its secure email and physical keyboard. However, both of these models had limited functionality compared to current smartphones, such as that the current Android and Apple smartphone offer a wide range of functionalities including advanced camera, high-speed internet, and a vast variety of apps. Moreover, the current Android and Apple provide users with lots of interface and regular updates. However, both Android and Apple models are weak in durability and long-lasting battery health. Therefore, modern Android and Apple smartphones are superior in functionalities, user experiences, and connectivities, but Nokia and BlackBerry phones were incredibly dependable in terms of longevity and battery life. Now we're on the last mini assignment, that is topic 5. Topic 5 is about professional ethics. The question given is that describe the professional code of ethics of a software engineer who developed the MySejahtera mobile app on 8 principles identify morally responsible relationship, but based only on selected 4 principles, which is public, client and employer, product, and judgment. Based on that question, I I have come up with an answer which from the 8 list of the principle, there are 4 principles for the professional code of ethics as software engineer. For the first principle, it is public. As a software engineer for MySejahtera mobile application, they need to act accordingly with the public interest. They need to be responsible worker. Every work task given, they need to do their responsibility well. As a software engineer, they need to develop a user-friendly application which are safe for the user to use it and meet all the requirements or criteria or even the specification as a healthy software and did not harm the user privacy and the environment. For instance, all data and information of MySejahtera mobile application user such as identity card number, name, address will be kept safely from any data leak that will cause harm in the data privacy. When there are any harm or problem they face during the software development process, a software engineer should hold the principle of public by only disclosing any harm and danger that affect the user, public, and environment to the appropriate person. They also need to discuss on what are the better ways to manage the problem the software produce. This need to be considered all the issues during the software development process such as physical disabilities, allocation of resources, economic disadvantages, and other methods that can prevent the access to the software benefits. Moving on to the second principle, which is client and employer. As a software engineer, they need to act based on the client and employer interests. As a software engineer, need to be honest in their work or services and know their own limitation in their expertise. They must provide the best services based on their field to build a good relationship for both the client and employer. Not only that, they also need to get consent or authorities when using the client's and employer's property, and they also have to get a consent of any document by someone authorized. They also need to keep any confidential information in their work. They do not have the right to break it out to other people, such as privacy data and information must be kept hidden based on the public interest and law. Therefore, moving to the third principle, which is product. As a software engineer, they need to make sure that the products meet the highest standard as a high quality, acceptable cost, and a reasonable schedule product. All the standards need to be considered from the client's and the employer interests. They need to set an objective or a goal, the application or project they are working at. The objective of the project and the product that has been proposed can be achieved when the product is finished. For example, the purpose of MySejahtera application is to record the user data and information and also provide their health is based on the location they stay at or where they are located. For the last principle, which is the judgment, as a software engineer, they actually need to have their own judgment and maintain their own integrity to judge a good product during the software development process. They need to be disciplined in developing a software, but only referring to a document that's under their supervision and within their own limit in which they are agreed to. They also need to be honest, an honest person, or we call it as an honest worker, in which they are not involved in bribery or any other illegal activities that will affect the company's reputation. Every decision that they need to make and choose must be considered well to prevent any conflict between all parties from happening. And that is my summarization of all the 5-minute assignments. Thank you for listening. If you have any question or any inquiries, you can ask me directly. Thank you and see you again.